Being instinctual means that you are being without thought. You're not asking to be, you are simply being. Instinctually being means that you are feeling without trying to feel. You are observing without trying to observe. The mechanical control that we have over our senses and our being is elaborated. So the objective is to detach from the elaboration of the control that we have over our being and simply just be. To be in the mindset of the intuitive thought means to act without reacting and to allow the flow of etheric information to simply become us. Without question or consideration, we are simply manifesting and acting to those things that fill our vessel of instinct and of impulse to do. When you overthink, you underthink. It is like overfilling something or trying to overfill a sensation that doesn't need to be sensationalized. The intensity of the feeling is enough. Why try to intensify something that makes it unnatural? So the intuitive thought tells us that we can eliminate most of the mistakes that we make by simply allowing the etheric thought process to naturally evolve. The naturality of life and what it is provides all the solutions and remedy that we need to be successful in whatever direction or endeavor that we desire to proceed in. It gives us that right. But when we try to analyze, figure out, reason, and use all these different things that is unnecessary in the ingredient of success, this is where we go wrong. I know oftentimes we ask ourselves, why did I do a certain thing? Something told me I shouldn't do that, but I did it anyway. And unfortunately, we experience this the various stages of our lives. This is something that we experience often because we ignore the intuitive thought. And even when we make the mistake of not acknowledging the intuitive thought and reacting to the intuitive thought, we still continue to make the same mistake because we don't understand what it is. We don't understand the instinctual nature of our existence. When a child is born into this world, a child instinctually knows in order for it to be fed, it has to partake of the milk from the fruit that hangs from the life source, which is the mother. You don't have to tell a baby to drink milk from the fruit of the mother. The baby just does. Automatically, it knows how to suck. Automatically, it knows how to feed itself. This is instinctual. It's not asking, I'm hungry. It instinctually knows to do this. When a baby is crying, it instinctually knows in order to be fed, it has to do this action. It has to perform this action because it knows every time they perform the action of crying, the remedy or the solution to that problem is immediately solved. In the same manner, we must proceed with the life having the same thought. The man that tries to control himself and tries to control the vehicle of expectation is the one that encounters the most failure in life. All of his failures and shortcomings are because he is trying to control a vehicle he does not understand. You're trying to make sense of something that is not sensible. For instance, it is not sensible for a piece of meat to be beating in your chest with no connectivity to anything outside of it, causing it to do so. So you're trying to make sense out of nonsense. And the spiritual world and the etheric realm that is causing all the things around us to be is not based on human logic. It is based on ethereal logic. In ethereal logic, there is no time, there is no space, there is no understanding. The abstract is actually concrete. The abstract is what makes the most sense. The concrete is senseless because it has no real value, because it dissipates as soon as it hits reality. So to make it more plainly understood, we'll say this: that the mind cannot allow the physicality of the vessel to believe that it is in control of anything. It has to be free in its being. It has to be free to allow the naturality of this existence to fill the vessel and the mind with the opportunity of performance without construct and without constraint. It has to be this way. The majority of our problems and the majority of our aches and pains are due to our ignorance of ourselves and what we truly are. The power and the abilities that come with being inside of our vessel, we are ignorant of it. The body is like the antenna. And just like a cell phone, if it does not have good service, it is most likely because there could be damage to the actual device. Now, if there's a weak signal, there could be a lot of things that could go wrong with that. But most oftentimes, it has something to do with the device. In like manner, this is indicative to the physical body. The physical body is like a cell phone. Cell phones are used to communicate. If the physical body is a cell phone and is unable to communicate correctly, then the signal will always be distorted and it will not be able to perform at its highest peak. So for the soul to be able to occupy a vehicle that will allow it to perform at its highest performance, the antenna of the vehicle cannot be distorted. In other words, you cannot distort the antenna, which is the physical body, with things that are against the nature of what that body is. So a lot of the reasons that are presented with us due to failure is because of the simple fact that we have damaged antennas. And the carnality of this existence is one of the main culprits of the antenna being in the condition and state that it is in, consuming and digesting the ignorance of the world, the ignorance of the sensationalized of life, the sensationalized feelings, the sensationalized ignorance of the world around us and how it functions and how it operates. This is the main reason why we are so distorted and why we are so disturbed. So to move forward with the intuitive mind, we must first cleanse the antenna. We must free the antenna from the interference, the scramble of the carnal world that is around us. And we must sterilize it to make it pure again so that the soul can operate in its correct functionality. The intuitive thought is moving without thought and understanding how we should control the outcome of our thoughts by first understanding the frequency of the thought and our responsibility to it and to ourselves.